Let's take a look and review the new Huion Inspiroy Dial graphics tablet.
TipTut.
Hello everybody and welcome back to TipTut. Today we are reviewing the Huion Inspiroy Dial. Now Huion did provide this for me free of charge, but they have not paid for my opinion and never will I sell it. So let's crack this sucker open, take a look at what we've got inside, and we'll take it from there. Okay, my first impressions are that it's actually a little bit larger than I expected, but let's see whether this is just the case of having a massive box like usual. So you still get your little thank you for choosing Huion card with customer service information and all that rubbish that nobody actually cares about. What we really care about is the tablet itself, and it looks like it is actually pretty big. There's not much wiggle room in the box here. So let's take it out of this little bag. Immediately, this is feeling a lot nicer, a lot more premium compared to the last Huion tablet that I got, which was years ago. So this one's feeling really nice, really solid. It's got really nice rubber grips on the backs and the buttons are feeling immediately very clicky and lovely. Oh, there is a little bit of packaging damage to this dial though, but that could be because this is a review unit, so who knows. There's a nice satisfying click on that wheel as well. Let's get the get that up on the microphone. So this one comes with a dial which we can use, I'm assuming, for brush sizes and things like that. Also a series of control buttons down here as well. But otherwise, this is just a standard graphics tablet. You don't draw on the screen, you draw on this area here and look at a separate screen. Comes with the classic Huion smudge guard, which I do love. I actually buy these separately because they're the cheapest and best quality ones that I can find for the price, which is great. Comes with a fake installation CD that's just a bit of cardboard because who has a CD drive anymore, as well as just an instruction manual as well. Boring, won't look at that. Quality of the cable seems quite nice, which is good because this is something that really annoys me. I spent something like, $2,000 on an iPad, and it came with the most flimsiest, useless cable I've ever seen. So the fact that this comes with a nice high quality, I would have preferred braided, but that I know is a matter of opinion. But it's a nice high quality cable, and it looks like a quite lengthy one as well. Could be 2 meters there, which is good because you've got to hide your wires properly. Now, the biggest thing, the most important thing for me here is the pen, because I've found that Huion pens can feel a little bit too light for my hands, and it does look like that it still is quite light and plasticky feeling when you hold it. I prefer mine with a little bit more weight behind it. Now, obviously, you can get quite fatigued the longer you're drawing, so you don't want it to be too heavy, but you definitely don't want it to be too light. And this does feel quite light still, just a matter of opinion. It feels sturdy. It feels like it'll do the job. And of course, it comes with as well the pen nib holder. So this works as a holder like this or laying down like this. And if you twist it open, you get a selection of spare nibs, which it looks like, yes, these are all exactly the same. Once again, I would have preferred to see a softer nib, a harder nib, that sort of thing. But again, all personal preference. These should be totally fine. It matters less soft and hard nibs for a graphics tablet without a screen than it does with a screen. The last thing in here, it looks like you've got the USB. So this is a wireless tablet, fantastic. You've got the USB dongle here to plug it in. And you've also got some modifiers here from USB to C or micro USB, depending on what slots you've got available in your PC. Looks like that's everything that there is to unbox though. So not a lot of peripheries that come with this, but you do get the lovely glove, which like I say is my favorite smudge guard. You do get the adapters and of course your dongle. But the most important thing here, the tablet, looks nice, feels nice, so let's see if it actually works nice. Okay, the Huion Inspiroy Dial is much like any other Huion tablet without a screen. It's wireless, charged by USB-C, and connects with a standard USB dongle. All of the stats are becoming fairly standard by this point in time as well, which is actually a great thing. The fact that there's 8,192 levels of pressure, 60 degrees of tilt, and 260 PPS report rate on such a reasonably priced tablet is awesome. So whilst I'm glossing over them because that's pretty standard these days, the fact that they are standard is dope. So well done, Huion. And whilst I tested this on a PC, it can also connect to a Mac and your Android device too, which is cool and really great for taking it on the go. With that out of the way, I want to focus on the bits that I think will actually be of interest to those who are considering an entry-level tablet. Things like, is it nice to draw on? What does it feel like to use in animation? Are the buttons and dials actually useful? And is it a good tablet to start out with? So I tested this in Adobe Animate by making a silly little animation, and I've got to say I'm used to using a graphics tablet with a screen, sometimes referred to as pen displays. But moving back to a tablet with no screen was a weird transition for me. Getting used to the pressure sensitivity without actually seeing what I'm drawing under my pen was definitely strange, and no matter how good your tablet is, drawing somewhere whilst looking somewhere else will always feel strange. With the dial, the surface area is large enough, about 10.5 by 6.5 inches, that the disconnect wasn't too great. I could do nice big swoops of the pen, which feel much more natural, without hitting the edge of the active area, which is great. The drawing experience was pretty good as well. I could adjust the pressure sensitivity to compensate for the disconnect I was feeling, and I mapped most of my important buttons like brushes and erasers to the buttons on the tablet. The dial is pretty cool as well. You can switch between 3 different presets by pressing the center button, and I immediately set a custom one to scrub through the Adobe Animate timeline. So yeah, the dial is awesome for animators, as scrubbing is super important. One thing which absolutely baffles me and I feel is the real shortcoming of the tablet is the software. And don't get me wrong, Wacom software has its problems too. I set my tablet to be left-handed so I could press buttons with my right hand. In one screen on the software, I can rotate the tablet 180 degrees so it draws the right way up, but this isn't reflected on the screen where I map the button controls. So I had to do everything upside down. Whilst this doesn't sound like a massive issue, it was actually super confusing as I had to guess whether the button at the top of the tablet on the screen actually now correlated to the bottom button on the real thing. Just swap the preview, it's such a simple fix. One thing that puts this above competitors like XP Pen, however, is the fact that I've had no conflict with Huion and Wacom drivers. Both are installed on my PC and they work separately without issue. When I tried to review an XP Pen tablet a while ago, I had to uninstall my Wacom drivers. If your product requires me to change my workflow and setup just to get it to work, that's probably a deal breaker for me. So I was super happy when Huion worked alongside Wacom drivers with no issues. Mapping controls to the buttons is great and the dial is cool. The wireless worked well and the battery life has been pretty decent so far. I used it for a few hours at a time and lost maybe 10% battery life. So the claimed 20 hours of battery life definitely seems achievable. Overall, I had relatively few issues with this tablet and I think it's great for beginners. So if you're in the market for your first graphics tablet, you could do much worse than the Huion Inspiroy dial. If you've already got a Huion tablet and you're happy with it, then the dial is cool, but otherwise it's pretty much the same experience. Make from that what you will, but if I bought this as my first tablet, then I'd be pretty happy. Thanks very much for watching everybody, and I'll see you next time on TipTut.
Remember to subscribe for more tips, tricks, and tutorials. Thanks for watching.